Hello everyone. Welcome back. I got myself a mango fresh milk tea with mango star jelly and lychee jelly. Can you tell that I love lychee jelly and lychees in general? Although this is my first time getting a mango fresh milk tea, and honestly, definitely 10 on 10 recommend. It is amazing. As you can see, I finished like half of it already. It is so good. And with this, I think I can officially cement myself as the boba tea mythology girl on YouTube. That is how I'm going to start introducing myself from now on. Speaking of mythology, see that segue? Epic. Anyway, speaking of mythology, today's episode and the next two episodes are going to be just mini episodes, and this one specifically is going to be about Niobe. It is a pretty sad and heavy story and will deal with the loss of children and a grieving mother, so if this episode is not for you, it is completely okay. The next one is going to come out in a couple of days, so I will see you there. Until then, take care, and I will see you in the next one. But if you're still here, sit down, grab a snack, and let me tell you the story of a woman whose hubris led her to being turned into a weeping rock. Niobe. Niobe? So there's a bit of confusion, a little conflicting information on who exactly she is. She's either the daughter of Atlas and is married to Tantalus, or she's the daughter of Tantalus and is married to Atlas. Either way, both Atlas and Tantalus are in her life, and both of them, honestly, those two are characters of their own. Atlas is this titan, right? So after the fight between the Titans and the Olympian gods, the Titans lost the war. Zeus basically confines most of the Titans in Tartarus, and with some of the others, he punishes them. Atlas was one of them. With Atlas, he makes Atlas stand at the western end of the earth and forces him to hold up the sky. Tantalus, he's the son of Zeus, and he was a king, and during the initial days, right after the Titan and God War, he was one of the few that was considered to be close with the gods. But then he started to steal from the Olympian gods. It started small with nectar, the ambrosia of the gods, and slowly he started to reveal other divine secrets. That already got on the gods' nerves. He was on thin ice. But then he wanted to push it further and test if the gods were really omniscient and basically challenge their power. So he does something so atrocious. He wanted to test the gods and see if he called the gods in for a feast and fed them human flesh, would the gods be able to discern that they were eating humans? If they could tell the difference, the gods passed his test. If the gods weren't able to tell, he thought that he would be able to gloat that the gods were not all that powerful. So he calls all the Olympian gods in for a feast. He's like, listen, I know I've been an idiot for the past few years. Let's just sit and make it up. I'll make you guys a feast. The gods agree, and they're like, okay, we'll give you one more chance. And Tantalus goes, I have the perfect way to make you a feast. And by perfect, I mean one of the most terrible, horrible, not good, very bad ways. He takes one of his sons, kills him, turns his own son into a feast, and when the gods come, Tantalus feeds the gods the feast. And that act made the gods even more furious. There was no coming back from this now. So they punish him. They throw Tantalus into Tartarus. There, he's in a pool with a lush garden all around him. But every time he gets thirsty and reaches down to drink the water recedes. And when he gets hungry and reaches up to pick the fruits from the tree, the fruits vanish and the branches go out of reach. Basically, his punishment was essentially promising him food and water, but they will always go out of reach for eternity. You know, normal punishments. In some versions, these are the people who Niobe is related to. So you can see why, once she gets married and has a bunch of kids, and by a bunch of kids, I mean 14 in total, 7 boys, 7 girls, equality. So with all the hubris that she and her family had, you can see how she would make fun of the goddess Leto for having only 2 children. It doesn't matter that the goddess Leto had 2 children and they were freaking Apollo and Artemis. So, in order to avenge their mother, Apollo uses one of his poison arrows and kills all 7 of Niobe's sons, and Artemis uses her poison tipped arrows and kills all 7 of Niobe's daughters. Or at least that's one version of the story. Another version says that of the 14 children that Niobe had, Apollo and Artemis only left 2 alive. Niobe sees all her children being killed right in front of her, and she is crushed, and in grief, she cries and cries and cries, and she flees to Mount Sipylus. And it is said that as she cried, she became petrified from the feet up, and yet she didn't stop crying, even after she is completely turned into stone. It is said that to this day, there is a natural rock formation on Mount Sipylus. It's called the Weeping Rock because every time it rains, the rainwater seems to pass through the porous limestone. It makes the rock look like it's crying. Given that the rock kinda sorta looks like a female face, and as the stories are passed down from generation to generation, people began to associate that natural rock formation with Niobe. So, moral of the story, I guess, don't be going around saying or doing something stupid like challenging the gods. Why would you do that? That being said, that's all for today. The next episode is going to be about Cupid and Psyche and their love story. Until then, stay safe, sweet dreams, good night.